We've told Lily, she's so excited. We won't let them together first. We'll let them settle in first, and then we'll gently introduce. She's really nice with puppies.
He's getting a bit more confident, I think.
Good. Lovely. Okay, cool. Ooh, that's quite an unusual sort of one to see as well. He's eating. You can let him just inch up a little bit. Okay, now just be a little bit careful with Nero because he's quite strong and he's a terrier. And when they get worried, they will make a grrr noise. So I'd rather he approached a different dog, actually. Let's bring him over here and come and say hello to Byron. How strange is that? All the puppies are black. Okay, so watch Nero's body language. I need you to look at his body language. What is going on? What's his tail position doing? It's low and it's jaggedy wagging, and his ears are clamped and pulled back, but not open. So he's actually quite concerned. So I'm going to say, as his parent, bring him back, give him a little bit more space. And Byron is also hiding. He's saying, I need to be behind you. I don't feel quite safe, I'm not sure. So we will allow them that space. Don't keep bringing him down to here. I'm going to put some cones up. Oh, where are my cones? I think cones are still in the car. I'm just going to put my hand across his chest just to stop him getting too close to Arthur. So pop that piece of chicken in. Is he eating it? Yeah, good lad. Yeah, good boy, Byron. Good boy. Hello, Arthur. Good lad. Good lad. Now, Arthur is actually tongue flicking a little bit, but that could be partly because there's some food coming through. But tongue flicking can be a sign of feeling a little bit nervous. That's it, good. That's a lovely soft waggle. Okay. He says, I'd like to play, but we might do so in a minute. Good lad. Oh, what a good lad. Okay. Okay, let him just try to leave go of that tension. Okay, because what we want is nice loose leads. So what he's doing is he's trying to get a sniff. And Byron's saying, I'm not that kind of boy. Good boy.
Good boy.
Good boy, Arthur. Good boy. Okay, we had a shake-off here. Right, so this shake-off, let's move further down the hall here. This shake-off is saying he started to feel a little bit more relaxed now because the adrenaline is coming down. Oh, no. That's it. Gently. Okay. Good boy. Good lad.
What's this?
Okay. So this is an inguinal sniff, and that is an appropriate way of greeting. But I'm just watching Arthur because he's a good boy, good boy. This is fine, it's play. Okay, I don't like terriers to get pinned down because they say something about it.
Good boy.
This is really nice. No, he's playing, it's fine, you just let him get on with it. That's fine. Okay, so he's saying, that's enough. And Byron said, oh, he said something. He said something. It's fair enough because he was being a bit full on. So, Arthur. Good boy, good lad. Okay, now it's useful to slide the lead away because this lead sliding technique just helps to soothe things down a little bit. Okay. Right. This is actually playful, but I'm watching Arthur's body language is a little bit hard still. So he's gone still. Okay, that stillness is... No, I'm just letting him figure things out a little bit. Okay, I understand that you're not comfortable with this, and this is what I'm going to do with you. Because by doing that, he knows that you've got it covered, so he feels secure with you. Otherwise, if that goes on for a period of time, when he gets to about 18 months, 2 years old, he could turn around and say, actually, I don't like this situation. I know my mum's not going to do anything about it, so I'm going to. And that's when you might get a dog that's going to show aggression to another dog. Okay. So just make sure, when you're aware of his discomfort, tell him what you want him to do. And I would actually just say, come on then, Nero, come this way. And I'd encourage him to sit behind you.
You're not Nero.
I'd encourage him to sit behind you just for a minute so he knows that you're protecting him from this other doggy. Okay, so have you got your treats with you?
Yep.
Okay, so let's get ready. All right, so now he's okay. Now he's saying, I'm not okay. Encourage him behind you. So come and sit behind me. That's it. Careful about where you're giving him the treat.
Yeah.
I'd like him to sit behind you and then say, good boy, give him the treat. You're telling him to go behind.
Yeah.
Okay. And watch the other doggies.
Yeah.
Watch the other doggies, all right? I need you to pat your head and rub your tummy all at the same time. Okay, she's very timid. She's very timid, bless her, right on cue. Very timid. She's saying, oh, help. Okay, now I don't want you to over-fuss her. No, because that's a normal response. I'm afraid I'm going to scream. But if you make too much of a deal about it, she's going to feel you thought that that was a dangerous situation. So what we're going to do is just bring her out a little bit. The reason why you've got this problem is because she's so much more fearful than your other one. Where's your tidbits?
On the table.
Okay, right. Okay, I'm going to ask you to move Arthur into a different part of the hall now, because now he's quite relaxed in here, but he's spent a lot of time down here the last few weeks. So, in his mind, he's going to be starting to say, this part of this hall is safe. Okay. So we want him to try a different part of the hall now.
Yeah.
So you might find you need to give him a bit more space in that part of the hall, but just move him up just a tad. Week 1 is very often like that for a puppy. They will come in and think, oh, what is this? This is why we do the 8 to 12 weeks classes, because if he came into a puppy class where you've got some puppies up to 20 weeks of age, it's traumatising for the poor things. It can be traumatising. So it's a case of he came last week, we managed his environment, we managed his space, he felt safe, so he's happy to come back this week because nothing bad happened. Really for puppies, it's all about what is safe, what isn't safe. It's really, if you can look at it.
We took him for a walk, and there were a couple of dogs, and we couldn't really see them, but he heard them barking, and he freaked out a little bit. And then we didn't make a fuss or anything, and then we took him back, and he heard the barking.
Much happier.
He was
much
less worried
happier,
about it.
And then he walked
Another
past.
thing you can do, if you find something uncomfortable, try to get a bit more distance from it and try feeding him in that same context, because that actually just helps to make him make positive associations with that environment and that context. But obviously, if he's in the thick of it and he's stressed, the blood supply will have left his digestive system and gone to fuel his heart and lungs, ready to run away. So you need to have him at the right distance to do the feeding, because he might not want the food.
Feed him now, and then a few steps on.
Yeah, yeah. Good, you're being very observant about it, which is really good. Maisie. Let Maisie come and say hello to some of the other puppies. Okay? That's it, just encourage her over. She said, I don't want to leave my sister. That's it, good. So, okay, have you got any nice tidbits for her as well? Because you can always give her a nice little tidbit around the other pup. Doesn't like to be handled too much.
I have videoed it once.
Right.
It's quite hard to do it and catch it on.
Yes, yeah. Okay, what I'm going to suggest, hello sweetie. Okay, I'm just going to have a little check. I want to see what she does.
It's not every time. It's usually if she's like sleepy and doesn't really want to get up, or she's playing and she doesn't really want you to be quiet.
Right, okay. So it's when you stop her from doing something she wants to be doing.
Yeah.
Okay, or well, I would say there's a saying, let sleeping dogs lie. And there's a reason for it, is because when they're asleep, they're not in charge of their faculties. So what happens is that there's a part of the brain called the amygdala, which is in charge. And this is the autopilot part of the brain. So when she's asleep and somebody picks her up, she thinks, oh, I'm being attacked. And so she'll defend herself because she feels like she needs to be defended. Okay. You can't do anything about that. You just have to learn that with that dog, you don't touch them when they're asleep.
Okay.
But what you do is you can get them generally used to being handled and to being restrained. Okay, and by doing that, they get used to the feeling of it. So there's a chance that that could possibly help to reduce any feeling of anxiety when she's asleep and disturbed, but can't say for sure that that's what's going to happen.
That again, like make a fuss for when she's asleep.
No. What you need to do is, while she's awake, she needs to get used to being restrained and handled gently and with positive experiences. And the more that happens, there's a chance that she feels less threatened when she is asleep. I can't say for sure that that would ever stop her doing it when she's asleep. It's one of those things that you generally have a problem with ongoing. But for being able to stop her from doing something when she's doing something she wants to do and you want her to stop, that's about educating. So you educate them to do something you want them to do without having to physically stop them. Okay, if I could take your treats, what I need her to learn is being restrained by you is not a bad thing. What's Puppy's name?
Pixie.
Hi, Pixie. Hello. Hello. Would you like a little tidbit? What's that like? Oh, yes, you would. Lovely. Okay, so I've got to just keep Mason back. That's lovely. Okay, so I'm just gently restraining with my hand across the chest. Hey, good girl. Hello. Okay, so it's about them learning that actually being restrained isn't dangerous. Good girl.
Okay.
Right.
We can do that.
All right. Hello. And when you're restraining her, so, hello, Pup. Hello then.
Hello,
Okay, just keep this. There you go. There you go. There you go. Well done. There you go. Well done. Go. Brrr. Hello. What is that all about then? Okay, so here we're going again. Just very gently. Now she's saying, I don't like it. Okay, but I'm not going to let her fight me off. Because if you do, she's just going to learn that's what I do to get you off me. Good girl. So I'm actually just going to give a little tidbit as well for accepting that. If you make being handled and restrained pleasant for them, they won't mind it. Okay, so if she's walking off and going off somewhere else, okay, we'll just let it. If she was going off somewhere else and suddenly I went, come back. Where's your sister? Let her go over to her sister, for example, there. And I say, come back. Whoa, there you go, and then pop that treat in. All right?
Yeah.
So you need to practice these in a very structured way with her. So she's getting used to you handling her in a way that's stopping her from doing something she wants to do, but it's a positive thing because you're shoveling lovely, tasty treats into her face.
Lovely.
All right?
Okay, sweetheart.
The other thing is she's actually quite scared of the doggies in here. So the other thing I'd like you to do is, as she's actually looking around at the other puppies, just let her take it in a stride. Just let her sit and watch. Don't let her get too close, because too close is going to be far too much for her. This one's fine. This one's not. She's much more timid. Let her watch. Stroke her. Just ear slides. Okay, lovely little stroking of the ears. It's really soothing for many dogs. They love that. And it just reduces a little bit of stress for them. Makes them feel more comfortable. Or you can also, as she's watching the other doggies, just pop in the odd treat. But you need to make sure she's looking at the other puppy when she gets a treat.
Okay. And what happens if she wants to walk up to another dog?
It's your decision, not hers. She at the moment isn't going to make the right choice, because if she says she wants to go up like she did earlier, she then runs away screaming. So, and that gets addictive. Oh, I go up there, you know, like Granny's footsteps, you know, how addictive that is to children. Yeah, it's quite scary, which is why they do it. And that's reinforcing, if you like, that kind of attitude, the adrenaline junkie type of thing. So we don't want to do that. You make the decision for her. This one's fine. She can interact, no problem. Don't stop her doing it, but she needs to do it just slower. All right? I'll leave you there for a second and I will come back. What I'm doing is I'm carefully putting my heels together behind me so she can't just reverse through my legs. Been here before. Okay, hold on. What I'm going to do first, I'm just waiting for a little moment of calm. Okay, just pop that tidbit in there. So I'm just getting used to me holding them on the chest here and across the back, just gently, but purposefully. Okay, because actually, that's better. Good girlie. Girl? It is female, Sky. Yeah, female? It is girl, isn't it? Yeah, she is. Yeah, sorry, just checking. Okay, so, right, so now I've got her just used to being in there, and she's relatively calm. I'm now just going to bring my hand up underneath the chin, okay, because when you're actually looking into their eyes or their ears, and she's saying, no, I don't like that, I'm going to use my teeth to stop you doing that. Okay, notice how gentle this is. There's no pressure. Good girl, good girl. Have a tidbit now. Okay, they don't like it at first, that's normal, okay, but they need to get used to it, because if they don't get used to that, then and like what she was doing there, she was just mouthing me to get me off. If I allowed her to learn that stopped me, yeah, they learn, oh, I know, I'll use my teeth on you, that'll get you off me. Ouch. Good girl, good girl. And the other, so I'm going to give another little tidbit here. I'll get you to do this in a second. And as you're progressing, holding them just gently like this, and if they do struggle like that, you don't let them go. You wait until they're calm, and when they're low, good girl, when they're calm, you let them go. Just get them used to having their paws gently touched. Good girl, steady. Shh. Good girlie. Good girlie. Okay. So just gently get their paws used to being touched by gently rubbing around the toenail area, because at some point you're going to have to cut their toenails.
Yes.
And black toenails, they are not much fun to cut. Okay, now this little technique is quite a nice technique to do. May I just hold his lead a second? So I've got Byron here and I've got a nice tip bit. So I'm just going to hold the tip bit slightly to the side, and the aim is he will have it when he looks at me and not the tip bit. Okay, so he's saying, I want the tip bit, give it to me, but he hasn't done what it's needed yet. Okay, so he's learning when he does that. I just remove the tip bit a little bit. That's not going to get him the tip bit.
That normally gets me the tip.
Okay. Oh, I missed that one. He just looked at me for a second. Okay. Yes. At last. The reason why we want your puppy to be able to give you good eye contact is because if they are looking at you, they can listen to you. Actually, dogs will listen with their eyes before their ears because they are visual learners. Okay, so it's quite important that they look at you, because then you can actually communicate to them. They are looking at your body language all the time, although you may not be aware of it.